I wish you all the best. Who are you? The arrogant Yang looked at me from head to toe, then turned away. A servant came running over with an impatient expression. Who let you into the house looking like that? I can't even kick her out myself. She gave me a rough once-over, grabbed my suitcase, and kicked it hard. The suitcase rolled down the marble steps and hit the ground with a thud. I narrowed my eyes slightly, then turned to the servant with a frown. Where's Butler Wang? Tell her to come see me right now. The maid rolled her eyes disrespectfully. What do you want with our sister-in-law? Ocean daffodils, 8 ripe imported cherries. She burst out laughing. Come to my house pretending to be a servant. You don't need to see Butler Wang. I don't like you. Go find another house. I was stunned by her words. You don't like me, huh? You look about my age, carrying that flashy designer bag. I know exactly what kind of girl you are. When you were young, you probably dreamed of becoming a servant in a rich family just to claw your way into a place in this house. Let me give you some advice. Protect your body and your reputation. Don't take shortcuts. She acted like she understood everything, talking more and more as she circled around me, pointing and mocking. Your face is ugly. My parents wouldn't like that kind of look. Ha ha ha, I can't help it. Look at that nose. This face of mine is completely natural. My smile vanished. I pulled out my phone and spoke coldly into it. It's me. I'm at the gate. There's an ugly little fool blocking my way. Give her 3 minutes to appear in front of me. Yang looked stunned. Who on earth are you? Waiting 3 minutes for me? That's funny. She really thinks she's the owner of this house. She scrolled through her phone, trying to call Mom and Dad, but neither answered. This kind of thing is completely normal in my family. I'm used to it. Even when the whole household is home, both my parents are always busy with work and conferences, so they rarely pick up the phone. The maid named Young kept insulting me. This little miss is so cute, saying I have to appear in 3 minutes. When the time's up, I'll call security and have her thrown out. Let's see if she still dares to act crazy. 3 minutes passed quickly. Yang held up her phone triumphantly. She had started the timer the moment I hung up. There was still no sign of Butler Wang. She smirked and said she was calling security right now. You'd better pick up your tattered suitcase and get out of here before they throw you out like trash. I raised an eyebrow. Who's going to be thrown out like trash? We'll see. Maybe my cold stare irritated her because Yang's face gradually turned vicious. What are you still waiting for? Get her out of here now. Yes, ma'am. The maids rubbed their hands together, eyes gleaming with joy at someone else's misfortune. Before their hands even touched me, a familiar figure rushed over, pushed the servants aside, and stood protectively in front of me. As soon as Butler Wang saw my face, she bowed excitedly. Miss, you're finally home. I nodded coolly. Where are my parents? I just called them. Butler Wang smiled warmly and respectfully. Young Miss, the Master, and Madame are attending a national conference that's being broadcast live, so it's not convenient for them to answer the phone. She gently took the handbag from my hand and said softly, The old lady only brought back so few things. Are you just staying a few days? I tilted my chin towards the steps. My suitcase was thrown out there. Butler Wang's face instantly darkened. She immediately ordered the maids to bring it back and line up behind me. Yang watched everything with a complicated expression. Butler Wang replied coldly to her unspoken question, "This is the real young lady of the house." I turned around, pointed at the servant cowering in the corner, and said, "Throw her out." Yang looked at the trembling maid, opened her mouth but couldn't find words, then ran off covering her face. Yang's own face grew darker. She stood frozen like a statue. I walked straight upstairs. My parents had told me countless times how much they missed me, and now the corners of my mouth lifted slightly. Butler Wang suddenly called out, "Young miss, you're heading back to your room now." I was puzzled, of course. My hand was already on the doorknob when her expression turned awkward. I pushed the door open anyway. The layout was the same, but all the furniture had been completely changed. The priceless paintings on the walls had been replaced with cheap countryside portraits. Expensive crystal vases were now filled with ordinary fresh flowers. A small white dog was lying on my carpet. It heard me and wagged its tail happily. I took a big step back, my voice dropping. "Why is there a dog?" Everyone knows I'm allergic to dog hair. The servants immediately picked up the dog and started frantically cleaning the room. Right then, Yang came upstairs and saw her dog being carried out of my room. She shouted, "What are you doing?" I coldly replied, "I'm throwing it out." Butler Wang's expression didn't change at all. I already reminded you earlier that dogs are not allowed in the house, yet you still brought it in. Now we have to remove it, don't we? Yang's attitude turned harsh. Why can't I have a dog just because she's back? My parents never stopped me. I couldn't listen to her nonsense anymore and asked Butler Wang whose parents she was talking about. A flash of contempt crossed Butler Wang's eyes before she explained softly, "This Miss Yang is an orphan sponsored by the master and madam. Her situation was pitiful, so they let her stay here temporarily." Suddenly, the house had an extra daughter I knew nothing about. She had let herself in and even occupied my room. I never thought my parents' judgment was this poor. Butler Wang quickly added that Yang had done everything on her own without permission. That made things simple. People who don't know their place and have no respect for boundaries picked the wrong person to mess with. I ordered most of her belongings thrown out, and the entire room thoroughly cleaned and disinfected. If the room still felt too small after that, I would change to another one immediately. While the servants were cleaning, Yang stared at her pile of stuff on the ground, tears streaming down her face. All her earlier arrogance had vanished. She stepped in front of me and said, "Sister, I didn't recognize you earlier. I thought you were some bad person. That's why I said those things. Please don't blame me." I sat on the sofa and looked at her calmly. "How long have you been living in my house?" 3 months. 3 months, and she already forgot who she was. That says everything about her character. Do you know how much a square meter costs in this neighborhood? You don't, right? Let me tell you, 50,000 per square meter. This villa is 1,000 square meters, so by market price, the monthly rent alone is $600,000. Cash or bank transfer, your choice. She stared at me in shock. I don't have that kind of money. Exactly, and my parents never said they were charging you rent. They're generous, but I'm not. I smiled coldly. You're sitting there penniless, a poor orphan with nowhere to go, yet you want to charge me rent and force me to death. She started sobbing loudly and suddenly ran off somewhere. Butler Wang breathed a sigh of relief and sat beside me, telling me everything this girl had done. My parents did feel sorry for her at first and let her stay temporarily. She acted pitiful and obedient in front of them, so my parents told the servants to treat her well. The servants took it as a simple instruction, but Yang thought it meant something more. After my parents left for work, she started throwing her weight around the house. At first, she still showed some restraint, but once my parents showed her a little affection, she got worse and worse, ordering the servants around and even making them call her young lady. Some people really lose their minds. The maid who insulted me at the gate was one of her followers. Butler Wang said that lately, Yang had become completely outrageous. One day, she even moved into my room without permission. That shocked even the butler. She thinks she's the real lady of the house now, always calling the master and madame her parents. Anyone who doesn't know the truth would think she's the actual daughter. I shook my head, feeling a little tired. I just wanted to go to my room and take a bath. Butler Wang noticed my exhaustion and said the bathroom had already been disinfected. I went upstairs, soaked in the large massage tub, and felt all the tension melt away. When I came out, everything in the room had been restored to its original state, the disinfectant smell gone, replaced by a fresh fragrance. I slept beautifully until morning. After breakfast, I drove out to meet some friends. In the garage, I asked Butler Wang where my Panamera was. She took a cold breath and said in a strange voice, she must have taken it. Yang's name immediately came to mind. I checked the location of all the cars in the house on my phone and drove my Tesla straight to a busy amusement park. There was Yang, spinning my car key on her finger, drawing admiring looks and praise from everyone around her. Her smile was so wide, it nearly reached the sky. I can't believe your family is this rich, changing luxury cars every day. Today, it's the Panamera. My parents told me to keep a low profile, but you're too low profile. If you stay this low profile, people will think you're poor. Come on, show off a little. Yes, young lady is right. Let us experience driving it too. Everyone started walking toward the car. Yang hesitated a bit. If something happens to this car, my parents will scold me. Someone egged her on. This car isn't really yours anyway. Yang glared at them. What do you mean, not mine? I have the keys in my hand. Of course it's mine. Fine, you guys can drive it for a while. Just don't say I'm stingy. The boys rushed forward, scrambling for the driver's seat, while the girls posed for selfies in the back. Someone accidentally hit the start button. The engine roared wildly, and the car shot forward, crashing straight into a pillar. The headlights shattered into pieces. Oh my God, you're done for. You ruined the young lady's car. It's all because of you encouraging me. Don't argue. The Yang family is so rich. It's nothing. Get off me. Yang was shaking, almost crying. I watched the whole thing through my phone's camera, quietly enjoying the show. Yang stared at the broken pieces, then suddenly slapped the boy who had been driving. If you can't drive, don't drive. This is my car. You destroyed it. The boy got angry. Your family is loaded. It's just headlights. Why are you so mad? And it wasn't even my fault. The others chimed in. Yeah, it's only headlights. Take it to the shop. No big deal. What the hell do you know? Yang took a deep breath, trying to calm her panic. If that girl suddenly comes back, she'll demand money, and I don't have it. Thinking about it made her face even uglier. I stepped forward and greeted her calmly. Yang's pupils shrank, her face turned ashen. Why are you here? I ignored her and made a phone call. The headlights are broken. Please arrange repair. The kids looked at me curiously. Yang grabbed my hand desperately. Sister, I didn't mean to damage the car. Can we go home and talk? I pulled my hand away coldly. She kept begging. Auntie and uncle love me so much. They let me drive it. I'll pay for the headlights, I swear. Her acting was pathetic, but my heart stayed ice cold. I told her the price for both headlights was $40,000. She couldn't believe it. Only one is broken. Why do I have to pay for two? And $40,000, the highest price for these headlights is a few hundred yuan. I smiled. This is a global limited edition car, only 5 in the world. Headlights are sold in pairs. Break one, replace both. They have to be flown in overnight with top technology, plus custom nanoparticle illuminators that only my family's cars have. $40,000 is already cheap because my parents felt sorry for you. My words stabbed her like knives. She still argued that my uncle and aunt love her and wouldn't make her pay, that I had no right since the car belonged to my parents. I just said my parents are coming home tonight. We'll see what they say, then drove off. The others asked who I was. Yang, pale as a ghost, finally answered, my maid. That evening, when I came out of the entertainment room, I saw Yang kneeling in front of my parents, crying hysterically. My mother saw me and immediately blinked back tears, scolding Yang for being rude and saying, I'm not that kind of person. Then her face softened completely. She pulled me into a hug, ruffled my hair, and called me her precious daughter she had missed so much. My usually stern father's square face also melted. He asked if I had enough money and called me his treasure. Yang watched the love my parents showered on me, something she had never seen directed at their real daughter. Her fake, pitiful expression slowly turned into resentment and jealousy. She clenched her fists until her nails dug into her palms. Later, she deliberately bumped into a tea table to get attention, but my father only told the butler to call the doctor. I couldn't help laughing and told her to stop acting like a cheap clown. Finally, I asked whose parents she kept talking about. My parents exchanged a look and told her to pack up and leave. Yang collapsed, crying that they didn't want her anymore. My mother said clearly, We never adopted you. We only let you stay because you claimed you were depressed and had nowhere to go after school violence. We didn't even agree to you staying in our daughter's room. When Yang still refused to accept it, my mother got furious and listed all the ways they had been kind to her. Yet she tried to manipulate everyone. My father ordered the driver to take her back to school. Yang went completely crazy, grabbed a fruit knife, and threatened to kill herself if they sent her away. I kicked the knife out of her hand and pinned her to the floor. Moral kidnapping, wrong target. If you're really depressed, no need to go back to school. Go straight to a mental hospital. She screamed that she wasn't sick, that she had faked the diagnosis, that she just wanted a rich family and loving parents. Why wouldn't they give her that? My mother ordered her thrown out. As the maids dragged her away, Butler Wang found stolen jewelry and cash in her suitcase. That night, it rained heavily.
The little white dog slipped out and ran to Yang's side. She stroked its fur and said, "We've lost our home."
The next day, a blogger calling herself the poor little girl posted photos and a long sob story online, claiming my family despised her, treated her worse than a dog, and that I had kicked her beloved puppy to death because of my allergy. The internet exploded with hate toward my family. People who hate the rich jumped in immediately, demanding justice for the poor girl. My parents wanted to shut it down, but I told them to let me handle it. I had professionals compile all the surveillance footage from the house and posted it without extra commentary. Netizens figured out the truth in hours. They discovered my family had sponsored Yang's education for 14 years, that she had bragged to her dorm mates about having a rich family, moved out of the dorm 3 months ago, pretended to be the lady of the house, tried to drive the real daughter out, wrecked my car, stole things, and faked depression. The same crowd that had defended her turned around and cursed her mercilessly. She deleted her accounts and disappeared. My family ended all sponsorship, and for the broken headlights and 3 months of rent, I sent my lawyer after her. Thank you for listening.